It's time for TWiT This Week in Tech, episode 240. Becky Worley's here, back from the Home and Housewares show, and she's brought us some fabulous items to demonstrate. We'll also learn what the Texas Reach Around means, and John C. Dvorak will tell us how to buy wine. It's all coming up with This Week in Tech.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for This Week in Tech is provided by AOL Music and Spinner.com, where you can get free MP3s, exclusive interviews, and more. Video bandwidth for TWiT is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com. This is TWiT This Week in Tech, episode 240 for March 22nd, 2010. The Texas Reach Around. This Week in Tech is brought to you by Carbon, the leader in online backup. Back up your PC or Mac off-site, securely, and automatically. For a free trial offer, plus 2 free months with purchase, go to Carbonite.com, offer code TWiT. And by Audible.com. To download 2 free audiobooks of your choice, go to Audible.com/TWiT2. And don't forget to follow Audible on Twitter at Audible_com. This is TWiT This Week in Tech, everybody. We're all gathered together to talk about technology news with Mr. John C. Dvorak.
Hello.
Wearing his, this is good, in honor of March Madness, his referee shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Keeping the peace between me and Leo.
Wait a minute. Could that be? Yes, it is. Becky Worley. Hello, Becky.
Hello.
What are you up to these days? ABC News is Becky Worley.
Yeah, but doing a little, working on my Twitter account. So if folks want to follow, be Worley.
Be Worley.
Yes, Worley.
We should have picked you. You know, when Kevin was on a couple of weeks ago, we picked a random Twitter user.
Who bailed?
No, she came back.
Oh, did she?
Oh, big time. She's rather enjoying.
Somebody clued her in. Said, "Hey, there's you could. This is not a bad thing."
What was the
So remember that Conan O'Brien picked. He had no followers, right? So people kind of said, "Conan, you're not a real Twitter user." So he picked at random one person to follow, and she's what was her name? Toe Jam Football. What was it? It was Twitter.com/LovelyButton, I think.
Mojo Sideboards or whatever.
Very good. You got it.
I was with you.
Her name is Lovely Button. And Lovely Button now has 28,344 followers from none, thanks to Conan O'Brien. Well, we said we should do the same thing.
I think so.
We should show our power, the power of the TWiT. So I said, Kevin, pick somebody at random. He did. He actually did a search on Twitter for the phrase "I hate technology," and found a woman.
Smart move.
Yeah, a woman from New Zealand who that was her first tweet. She had 3 followers. Her name is Lisa Tickled Pink. I'm happy to say that Lisa Tickled Pink currently has 25,343 followers.
See?
And you know what? She's loving it.
I thought she hated it.
No, I talked to her.
Mail. Oh, you.
I talked to her. We did an interview on Radio Whammo in Auckland, Kiwi FM, and she said, at first I thought I did something wrong because I had like 12,000 emails from Twitter. So she didn't understand, and somebody explained to her, and she said, "Oh, this is great," and she's actually really gotten into it.
Well, it's interesting. David Spark did this thing about how if you're in technology, Twitter is a part of your resume. How many followers you have is an indication of what your reach.
It's key. Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember when I was obscenely pregnant when Twitter was really exploding and you guys were talking about it all the time. And I just was off the radar completely for the first year and a half of Twitter because I was having kids and doing that. And
you were
now
like being normal. Okay,
I'm back on TV. I'm doing this, and okay, Twitter, right?
Better follow it. So what is it at B Worley?
BWORLEY. Thank you very much.
Let's give her a nice big plug, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate you.
So guess why we're talking about this?
Well,
go ahead, John.
Well, I was going to say if people want to look at crackpots doing Twittering, you should check out my son's.
Yeah.
Twitter/12.2.
12.
12 TWELV 2, TWO.
Okay. And why is that his handle, 12-2?
I have no idea.
Means something.
But this is the kind
means let's
he's
smoke
decided
pot.
to take this thing to a meta level.
Placed a bookmark in my book. Now I can find my place when I return to it later. Found the screw. It was where I left it. Put down a screw. Not sure if it is where I left it. Oh, I guess you have to read them in order.
Well, it would help.
Lost power. Cannot use electricity. Power is back. The lights are on again. The electric kettle boiled the water, but I waited too long.
Woo!
I will have to boil it again. This is good. This is kind of funny.
That's funny.
He's only got 9 followers. Let's follow him, everybody. Maybe follow. Now, here's a reason you should follow Lisa Tickled Pink. Because I'm going to pick one of her followers at random and give that person an iPad, and I'm going to give Lisa Tickled Pink an iPad for her trouble.
No, right.
So you should follow her because I want her to be.
Oh, so you're up in the ante here with this kind of gimmick.
I'm up in the ante.
This is old radio trickery.
It is. I'm going to give so Lisa, because I felt bad. I said, well, I better give her some. So I've ordered 2 iPads, one for Lisa. I'm going to FedEx it to her because she won't be able to get it in New Zealand. So I'm going to FedEx her an American-made iPad. Well, actually, Chinese-made, designed in California iPad. And then one of her followers we will pick at random on April 3rd and give that person an iPad, unless Lovely Button still is beating her. Then none of you win. How about that?
That's
Can you do that?
Threat. I like threatening the audience. That's a positive thing. That's new. That's kind of new to
Hey,
the
you know
internet.
what today is? This is the 4th anniversary of Twitter. The very first tweet was posted by, I can't remember his name, Alex. One of the guys, on March 21st, 2006.
Well, that's fantastic.
God, that was really a downer. All right, let's move to the news.
Does it make you feel old?
That it's 4 years old? Well, how old's your kid?
2.
So you really, you missed the boat by 2 years.
Yeah, you're way off.
Well, I was. Well, it was hitting. It was.
No,
cresting.
you got pregnant. No, you're right. You got pregnant 9 months before that, if my calculations
You're
are correct.
good that way.
And that would mean 2 years and 9 months
Yeah.
before
So
that.
3 years ago. Yeah. I have an excuse, people. Okay.
She was pregnant.
Yeah, with twins.
It
Hello.
seems to me that it'd be just the opposite. If you were pregnant, you'd want to find something to do with your...
Anything.
Yeah, so you'd find some meaningless thing to do like twittering.
Lisa Tickled...
The only thing you can do to satisfy anything that's, make you feel good is watch bad television when you're pregnant, let me tell you.
And which particular kind of flavor of bad
I
television?
think it was John and Kate +8.
Oh, God,
I
that's
know.
so bad.
I'm so sorry. Now she's on
So
Dancing
bad.
with the Stars.
She is. Kate Gosselin. She had her lips done, I think.
My son
Everything
just
done.
jumped from 9 to 156.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
There's the power.
Well, maybe it'll give him more impetus to post more often.
Don't confuse things, though. I'm not giving an iPad to followers of 12-2.
Just to redirect on my...
One more thing.
He has an
What?
iPad.
Lisa Tickled Pink. Does he?
Yes, it's like it's ruined the family.
How did he get an iPad?
He bought one.
You can't buy one. They're not out
not
till
an
April
iPad. I was
3rd.
thinking of an iMac. Never mind. I still haven't woken up.
Lisa Tickled Pink's last tweet is actually about Lovely Button. Apparently, Lovely Button has a stylist, she says. Now they're fighting. Where did I go wrong? Thought people would be champing at the bit to get me in beige. She's kind of into pink.
So, to the news, what is the story about the iPhone and a 4G ad? There's no 4G iPhone.
There isn't, but Sprint is announcing, they're doing that Clear thing, and Clear Wire, and Sprint has released an ad that features the iPhone. Now they don't have the
Now,
iPhone.
Clearwire is WiMAX.
Yeah, 4G. That's the 4G that Sprint's going to use. It's WiMAX.
But it's not. Is that the official 4G, or is that just WiMAX? There's nothing new about WiMAX.
No, that's a good point. In fact, WiMAX has turned out to be kind of a flop. We were underwhelmed by 4G speed in both Vegas and Austin.
You were using WiMAX?
We tried, yeah. They call it Sprint 4G Clearwire
It wasn't like the
WiMAX.
WiMAX that they're using up in Portland?
It's
where
the same WiMAX. There's only one.
Yeah, Clearwire.
Clearwire.
And it sucks?
Well,
the people in Portland all tell me, it's fantastic.
I wasn't. It was not much faster than our other 3G connections. Maybe a lot of people were using it. So here's the deal. The Overdrive is a mobile router that uses Sprint's 3G, 4G, and turns it into Wi-Fi. So you can use it with an iPhone via Wi-Fi.
So it's like a MiFi card?
It's like a Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Can you tether?
Are you kidding? No, but you can Wi-Fi.
I guess that's a no.
You can't tether because to tether you would need... The phone would need to be doing it.
The MiFi is the tether.
The MiFi is like
the
a...
device itself.
No, I'm just thinking I was thinking about the 4G. I got an iPhone.
AT&T's 3G speeds. So I'm going to use the Overdrive 4G mobile hotspot to make it up to 10 times faster.
Looks just like a MiFi.
While that's happening, I'm going to enjoy this tasty snack.
Is that your son?
That looks like a was eating a turd. Whoa! What was it that he had?
It was an apple.
Oh.
What can you do with
An
4G?
apple.
Whatever you do.
Do you
No.
not eat a
10
lot of
times
fruit?
faster than 3G
No.
with 4G
They're
from
eating
Sprint.
the apple.
Get it? The apple
Oh,
of
it's a
knowledge.
Pun. Oh, it's a pun.
They're eating
think-
the Apple brand.
Oh, I'm sorry. God, we're slow.
Wait. Okay, so you
We're
went
so
to
slow.
Genesis.
I went
you
to
went
biblical
to
on you.
fecal humor.
He went scatological. I went biblical. You got it.
Well,
They're
it
eating
depends.
the apple's lunch.
Yeah, well, then Apple's going to go after him.
I don't think they can. What do you think about these lawsuits, the Apple? I never did ask you, John, the HTC lawsuits.
Yeah, what about him?
What do you think? Is that Apple being...
Apple.
It's Apple being Apple.
Yeah. Ooh, we can sue somebody. Let's do it.
Let Apple be Apple, man.
Well, aggressive and predatory may not scare the big boys, but it scares enough of the small guys away.
HTC's not as small as they look.
No.
Seems to
They're
me
like
that
chick,
it's
Are they?
Yeah.
it's almost an admission that
Still
they're
gonna put
not
it-
making it in the marketplace when they have to sue people. You know, it's like, well,
No,
if
but that's been their tradition, making it or not making it.
they
They're
don't care.
suing.
They're litigious.
Yeah.
So Palm had a very bad Friday.
Palm's in trouble.
You think Palm's dead?
I predicted Palm was dead when that phone came out.
The pre.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I call it, pre-bankruptcy.
So Palm really put all its eggs in the pre-basket. They killed everything else that they were doing. They said, we're going to develop a new OS. They hired away much of the Apple iPhone team, including John Rubinstein, who's now running the company, and designed what they thought would be a Palm killer. I mean, a iPhone killer, the Palm Pre, running a new operating system, WebOS. And really, by killing everything else, they said, we're going to make it on this or we're not going to make it. Well, I think the jury's in. And it's not been good for Palm.
I don't know what they're going to do.
They had a ton of buzz.
They had
not
the head
last
start,
CES, two CESs
Yeah,
ago.
when they announced the Pre, everybody was excited about that. Was the Pre-CES they showed the Pre at, right?
It looked gorgeous.
Yep.
The
Stock flew at that point, by
it
the
was
way.
big boom. It had a
Could've
couple of
made
nice
Friday,
ones.
it was down 28% to something like $4 or $5. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, but it would be right after the announcement and during that little period, that if you would have invested in Palm, you would have made a fortune. I think it went 5x or something like that. Now would have been a good short. But,
I'm sad because I really love Palm, and I was an early Palm Pilot user. And
yeah, so
I
was
had
I.
a Trio forever.
So was I. I had one of those too.
Trio was great.
They dropped the ball somewhere along the line.
That's the question. Where did they go? What could they have done differently?
Well, they could have. I think management. They kept swapping management around to finally getting people that never had a vision.
Why didn't they get in bed with Apple?
I feel like they did everything they could. I think the Pre was a really nice phone. I don't think there was anything wrong with the Pre. Maybe if they made one mistake, it was making it Sprint instead of Verizon.
I don't think that was it. I don't think the Pre was exciting enough. It wasn't different enough. Keyboard was kind of funky.
It wasn't different enough. You have to be so much better to beat the iPhone.
There were three things that were different. One, the keyboard, tactile, good. Two, wireless charging. It had that hockey puck that you could put the Pre down on.
Inductive
A lot of people
charging.
loved
Gimmick.
that. Third thing, it had a mirror on the back of it, so you could put your lipstick on with it. That rocked.
You noticed that?
I didn't
was
see
big
the
for
mirror. There was a mirror.
Yeah, well, it
I'm
was
just
shiny
saying.
when you slid down the keyboard. There was a very shiny metal.
Yeah.
And wasn't it also multiple apps at the same time?
It had multitasking.
And
It had multitasking, absolutely. So here's the sad news. I'm trying to get the results. So they actually did worse than this is always bad. Did worse than the analysts' most negative
That's bad.
predictions.
Yeah, you might as well shoot yourself if that happens.
Shares of Palm fell the most in more than 2 years in NASDAQ trading after it forecast sales this quarter that were less than half analysts' estimate. Half. Revenue in the period ending in May will be less than $150 million. This falling short of the $300 million average estimate from analysts. Its 11th consecutive quarterly loss. Shares 29% down to $4 on Friday.
Wow, $4.
is this an incorrect hypothesis that, okay, there's the iPhone, there are random phones that are running various sort of
Well, there's there's BlackBerry, there's iPhone, there's Android, which is huge. Microsoft comes back into the game with Windows 7 Phone, which they've just announced but won't be out at the end of the year.
So my point is, it's either Windows 7 Phone or the Google phone or the Android phones that pushed Palm to the periphery. And one of those was unexpected, and I think that was probably Google if you look at the long-range planning.
I don't think so. I think the iPhone, I mean, it's been around for a while now, but I think that really caught everybody flat-footed.
Stronger than expected.
Well, fair enough.
Well, it's because it was, it was a new paradigm.
But I'm talking about their comeback, which happened well after the iPhones.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was predicting that I was actually stunned by the stock going up as much as it did. But that's why I was using that joke pre-bankruptcy and all this other stuff. And I was doing it on this show way before it came out. You
were right.
And I kept staying with that theory because I didn't see how they could possibly come back from the situation as it now exists, which is we have a new paradigm for a phone, which is a phone with no keyboard. That you, like the Google Nexus, you talk into it and then tell it what you want to type.
Nobody wants a keyboard, I think.
I think that's true. I think it's an old school to have a keyboard on one of these things. I still use my little Nokia with the keyboard.
The E71, you still like that?
Yeah, because the keyboard's nice, the phone is slick,
But I look at the phones that I'm using are Droid, Nexus 1, and iPhone. Droid has a keyboard, but I never slide it out.
Yeah, and with the Google Nexus 1,
I love the dictation. It's great.
That dictation thing is astonishing.
Well, there are a couple subgroups that I think make this interesting. So for my dad, I was just looking for a phone for him, and he desperately needs a full-size tactile numeric keyboard.
He's older.
Right. Then you've got hardcore texters who love the Sidekick, teens.
Yeah.
They love that flip out.
Well, Microsoft owns that now.
And then, one of the things I think if I can transition this slightly, is like the smartphone world is actually declining. It's not growing as fast as it used to.
Really?
That's a major byproduct of the economy.
What are they buying? Oh, they're just not buying.
Data, well, huge part of it is that all smartphones must, mandatory, be sold with a data plan.
Right. So it costs more yearly and monthly. And
those data plans are substantial. If you're trying to cut back, it's a no-brainer.
It's another $30 a month.
That's $400 a year.
Right.
Smartphone goes away because you can't even buy the smartphone if you can't afford the data plan.
Well, if you can get a smartphone unlocked one, you don't need a data plan. You can just pop in a SIM card and use Wi-Fi for the data.
But again, then we're talking about a $500 phone. If only a third of U.S. adults own smartphones right now.
Is that true? Really?
Only a third.
That's actually high. I think that's a big number. It used to be next to nothing.
A third of adults.
Fine, but I'm just saying it's next to nothing now. I mean, it was next to nothing, and now it's a third. That's, I think, a huge growth rate. I think the smartphone's going to take over, and I agree with all the numbers that you're throwing out there, but I think that the trend is clear, and that is everybody's going to have one of these keyboardless smartphones that you flip around with your thumb, and I just don't see anything competing with that.
Is the iPad going to change any of this?
No, the iPad's a joke.
Really? You think so?
We bet on this already.
I know, and I'm going to win that bet.
Well, you might.
What did I bet? I bet it would sell 4 million copies. 5 in the first year.
Yeah, 12 months.
12 months. Easy. No, easy.
5 million in the first year seems big.
Apple's building 7.
Okay, wait.
They're building 7 million?
That's the story, yeah.
Okay.
I want to finish one thing on phones, and I want to talk iPads if I can be so
we got more on the phones, because the Palm CEO says, we could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
Well, Charlie, why didn't you take care of me? Who was the Charlie who didn't take care of me?
Charlie. If we could have launched, this is John Rubenstein. If we could have launched at Verizon prior to the Droid, I think we could have gotten the attention the Droid got. And since I believe we have a better product, I think we could have done even better.
I think they're missing the point.
I think it's too late.
They're missing the point, too. The Droid got a lot of attention because it's open source and it runs Linux and it does this and it does that. And it's, I mean, I think they're missing the point. They're just...
the Google phone, the Android now, is available from Google to run on AT&T as well as T-Mobile. They just did that. They've announced Sprint and Verizon in the next month or so. So they're going to be on every platform. It's almost... And I love this Nexus 1.
Yeah,
you
seem to like that.
It's a great phone.
I like it too, except it's so slippery.
You keep saying you drop it.
Slippery.
Now look what they did. Look what they did. They put a little Google Buzz widget on there now. I like Google Buzz, but I'm the only one. I'm actually the only one who uses it.
That's because you have no filter for privacy. I can remember when you first started at Call for Help, you would show pictures of your infant children on the air.
What's wrong with that?
It freaked me out.
But what's wrong with that?
Really dumb.
I was just...
Why? What, is some bad guy going to say, oh, there's a baby, I'm going to go find out who that guy is and take his baby?
Just a bad policy.
It just creeped me out back in 97, 98. It was just a little.
I was just ahead of my time.
That's
Now,
true.
when I weigh myself, it goes out on the internet.
Did you get my pitch?
What's your pitch?
You're gonna. By the way, weighing yourself.
By the way, I weigh 217.5 pounds.
And by the way, you're gonna overload the network.
So Calacanis also
he weighs himself in public. Yep.
And my
what
theory
is the
was
point of this?
Well, it keeps you honest.
Well, it keeps you honest.
Keeps
my
you
theory
honest.
was to
Look
make
at
it
the
a
thing.
game.
What do you lie to yourself? Oh, it says 205. Nah, it says 190. It keeps you honest.
Because shame is a powerful
Shame,
motivator.
baby.
Unless you weigh 300 pounds, you're not going to be shamed into anything.
I'm getting close.
My
I'm shamed.
suggestion
Getting
was
close.
that you and Calacanis, and I'm in if you want, and any other Checky people, set a goal.
Yeah.
What your weight needs to be by August. And then we do TWiT the pool party.
We should. Oh.
And we put all kinds of like metrics around.
I'll do that. And Jason will do that.
So Jason.
And we show up in our suits. But we have to have some.
Are you going to do it too?
Well, I think we need to get like
she's
Veronica or somebody.
People will come to see you in a
40.
bathing
Yeah, get
suit.
Veronica. I'll go to that event.
That's what I'm saying. So, anyways,
And we'll
I'll
get her.
work on the
I don't know why she hasn't picked up her Star Trek outfit that we had done for her.
Because you humiliated her. That's why.
So doing how? So let's look at this. Is actually part of the show, I think.
What are you looking at? My texts?
No, I should be. The good. Jeez, what am I thinking? So no,
leverage in
I'm
your
looking
hand
at
right
the
there, buddy.
apps.
Yes.
Now I'm going to go over a few of them, and so you can recommend or not.
I can tell
recommend.
you whether they're good or not.
You got the Yelp, YouTube, Zagat. We're not going to do any of those.
All the standard ones.
WP to go. I don't know. WordPress.
That's WordPress.
Okay,
Yeah.
who needs it? Where? What's where?
Where you press a button, it knows where you are, and it tells you what's around you. There's a number of location-like
Is Where good?
applications.
Is that the one I should
Where's
get?
pretty good. Eloqua is another one that's pretty good. The truth is, with Google's own applications, and Bing is pretty good that way. You're kind of set. You don't really need these.
Okay, you
extra
got
ones.
Ustream, blah.
That's
blah.
Ustream. Both I can watch and broadcast from that phone.
Oh,
You know,
fantastic.
the Ustream biggest day ever was Tsunami Day.
Yeah. You know why?
Biggest day ever for a non-corporate event.
So I'm watching CNN. I'm watching all the TV stations. What are they playing? Ustream.
Ustream.
Yeah, I saw that too. I thought that was ridiculous.
Michael Jackson was the biggest corporate day they've ever had, and like by a factor of 7%, the Tsunami was as big, but it was all independent.
You know who owns them now, effectively? Sun. Masayoshi Son.
No way.
Major investor in
what,
Ustream.
Ustream?
Yeah, I just put like $70 million into Ustream.
Interesting. What's TuneWiki?
TuneWiki you'll like. It's a so there's a site called TuneWiki that is a wiki where people put lyrics up. TuneWiki is a alternative media player. It's available on the iPhone too. That plays your music but posts the lyrics in sync to the music as you're watching the
really?
music.
Karaoke
That's
app.
nice.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah,
and then
that's
also
outstanding.
it has a
It's,
button in there. You can find the videos.
Skitch Henderson comes to mind.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are dating
I think
yourself
Mitch Miller is who you're
I've
thinking
given
of.
up. I don't care.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Stream
Furious is a radio, internet radio program.
Oh, is it? Oops. Doggone it.
10 to 20%
Just touch
of
something,
people
this thing
who
goes
have
crazy.
smartphones plan to
Ow.
lose their data plans in the next year.
10 to 20% because it's too
She's
expensive.
preoccupied with this topic.
Well, I think she's got a good point. I mean, she says that there's a vulnerability in the smartphone market.
She hates smartphones, and she's now taking it out on the show.
No, I just like to take the technorati and take them to task
Take 'em
for
to-
the average
take 'em
folks
down.
who are sort of
I'm trying to provide useful information to the listeners
who
by
are
reviewing these apps.
budget conscious. That's all I'm saying.
But Becky goes on and on about this one topic. She's preoccupied.
So I got another site that I do called Blippy. You know what Blippy does? It tells everybody what I bought.
Oh,
Like from all the credit cards and everything.
Oh,
You're
that's
serious?
And is that posted
Yeah.
on the internet?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that is hardcore.
Why?
It's actually, you know what? It's strangely compelling.
Becky's
because
already had 3
you can
glasses
watch
of
what
wine.
Jason Calacanis has bought.
That
You can
just
watch
made
what a
me
lot of other
blush.
people have bought. And then you see what they buy. That's how I found out about the Wi-Fi scale. Philip Kaplan Pudd bought the Wi-Fi scale, and I thought, oh, that's cool. So I bought it, and actually, apparently, like 7 or 8 people from Blippy.com have bought Wi-Fi scales because of that.
man.
So it's got a business model of some sort.
I think I'm moving to Alaska.
That's for me. That's way over.
Too much? What would be okay? You're a woman. I think there's a very big gulf between what men and women are willing to share online.
Yeah, you said this last week about.
Do you not think?
Location-based stuff?
Gina Trapani was saying that on Twig. That's a big difference.
That's why I like that robyourhouse.com or whatever the heck.
Oh yeah, but nobody's
Please
gonna rob
rob
my
me.
house. Please rob me.com. Nobody's gonna rob
Well,
me.
no, that's because you always got
Oh, that reminds me. I haven't checked in here yet.
Oh, gotta check in.
Check in on the house.
Yeah.
You know, that was the weirdest thing at South by Southwest is that you go anywhere, the first thing you do when you step in the door, everybody's got their head hunched over their smartphone, checking in on Gowalla and Foursquare.
You don't think that's pathetic?
Yeah, it's actually, I actually do think it's pathetic, but I still do it.
But you know what? I know that you go to the gym a lot.
You can tell. You follow me.
do.
You're
I
my
know that
friend.
you
How about, you know what? I'm going to set one of these accounts up and just bull my way through the whole day.
That's like your son,
I'm at the
12-2.
12.
Oh, look, Eric Longstaff just checked in at the Kmart.
Wow.
See, now I know. I don't even know who Eric Longstaff is, but apparently I know
Yeah,
where,
but you
I know
know-
where
you
he
know-
Mom, I'm at church again.
Yeah, that's good. Just checked in, Ma. St. Vincent de Paul. There it is. It's right on here. So that's the church over here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's the same.
Well,
that
let's go
does
get him
the-
and
no,
beat him
that's
up.
the where that you send all your.
Let's track him down. This is a
That's what you
perfect
send all
app
your
for
giveaways.
I
stalkers.
might, from now on, because the TWiT Cottage is right next door to St. Vincent de Paul.
Is
So
it
right
really
now,
parish as opposed to the place where you send your giveaways? You know that's what St.
yeah,
Vincent de Paul
it's
is,
St.
right?
Vincent's church. It's not. There's no
Okay.
de Paul. I added the de Paul.
Okay, just being clear.
No,
as
you're
the
right.
Token
It's not
Catholic
DePaul.
in the room.
No. But see, from now on, instead of being the mayor of TWiT Cottage, I'm going to check in at the church because the geolocation isn't so accurate that it really knows where I am. So I'm just going to say I'm in church every day.
You
Yeah,
could totally
you know,
be the
this
mayor.
is the
What do you
TWiT
get?
church.
I get something from the Pope.
You get free wine
Get some from the Pope.
every day.
There's a joke in there. I'm
7:30.
not going to use it, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
No
much,
chance.
John. You just saved me a lawsuit with the Vatican.
Wow.
Vatican's got other problems.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing on the phones.
One
Just
other
to,
thing.
to prove John's point that I'm like a dog on a bone.
It locked.
Yeah, what's the pattern?
Were you trying to see my text?
No, I'm going back. No, I'm going to go back over these
He was
apps.
trying to see my text.
No, I wasn't trying to see your text, and I don't care what they say.
Give me the phone. I'll unlock
you know,
it for
sometimes you can look at this and kind of figure
you. You know
out
how you
what
could
it
tell
is.
from the smudges?
Yeah.
You can see where the finger smudges are. You can unlock it.
Oh,
Yeah.
very smart. Prepaid phones growing by 20% this year.
That's because of all the drug dealers.
No,
They're buying burners. He's a burner guy.
no
Yeah,
way.
totally.
No, Boost and Virgin and AT&T all have these plans now. All the major carriers have the
Right.
prepaid plans, and it's the concept.
But those are
of not,
feature phones, right? They're not smartphones when you're buying one of those.
Not they're. I think predominantly they're just texting and unlimited texting and calls. But for people who are trying
Ta-da!
to condense,
Did you unlock it?
Oh, yeah.
You
wow.
did not unlock my phone.
Watch.
That's not it.
I'll show you. I got it. It's Tell me it's not this. Straight up and then
No, that's
to
not
the
it.
middle.
No, that's not it. Go ahead and do it. See what if it unlocks. He's looking at the smudges. He's trying to decode the smudges.
That's,
He's
that's
still in his-
Dvorak's
It's thinking.
old school.
This is
hack.
one thing about the
I'll have
Nexus
to
One
wait
I'm
10
not
seconds.
fond of. It kind of it's because you tried so many times it
Yeah.
locked you out. Good.
What do you mean good?
Good.
We're trying to review apps here.
The last time he was in here, he tried to log into my Mint application to see how much I was worth, what my net worth was. I published
I
that
don't
on
know
the internet,
how to
John.
use Mint, so that's probably not a true story.
It is a true story. I go in here and Mint, and it's like 20 times somebody's tried to log into Mint. And
Believe me, that wasn't me.
oh yeah, sure.
Here we go.
Mint is another great application that's not on the iPhone. So the people who are in charge of these things, and I don't know who that would be.
And what are these things?
These things would be, the record industry, the movie industry, copyright holders have decided that the word piracy is too sexy.
Ahoy, matey!
They were the ones who created the term in the first place. But now they realize that, unfortunately,
They created a monster.
yeah, Johnny Depp.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
So they're thinking of calling them vampires.
What? I didn't get. I missed this story.
That's a bad one.
No.
No,
It's
not
that's
true.
a joke.
He's playing on
That would be funny, though, if they did.
Yeah, it didn't
They're
surprise me.
blood-sucking. Wouldn't that be fun? I could just see them saying, oh, no, piracy is too sexy. Let's see, what can we call them?
Bring back Hillary Rosen. She's good at this.
Yeah, they're blood-sucking vampires. That's not sexy, is it?
No.
No.
Yeah, what would be the,
They want to call them thieves.
No, but even that. I mean, if we're really talking about not glorifying parasites.
I got a good one.
I mean, that's not my word. I'm not saying that.
So we
anyone
should
can
change the
download
word
something illegal.
privacy.
What is a
She said,
parasite?
blah, blah, blah. Translation, we should choose them. That's sexy. How about fat bastards?
That's a
not
good
sexy.
line. Have you ever had fat bastard?
All yous guys is fat bastards stealing our stuff. Get me belly, you little musical thief.
Oh, you just got Scottish on us.
I did.
As best he can.
I don't know.
As noted, I love this. This is from the article in Ars Technica. As noted copyright scholar William Patry argued in his most recent book, quote, to say that X is a pirate
is a metaphoric heuristic intended to persuade a policymaker that the in-depth analysis can be skipped and the desired result immediately obtained. Claims of piracy are rhetorical nonsense.
The pedagogy on that is phenomenal.
You studied that. You got like a doctorate in that. Don't you?
I have a strange postgraduate degree.
What is your degree?
It's in a combination of education and computer science. It was a program that ran
Educational
through both of those
technology.
programs. It was called Learning, Design, and Technology. How to teach people through technology, and I modified it, how to teach technology to people.
So you have a master's.
Yes.
So should I call you master or mistress?
Let me get my leathers out. Hold on. Yes, you should.
I should call you master.
That's right. I think that this is marketing. What could you call piracy?
Well, they want to call it thievery, but it's not technically thievery.
So I was at a.
Then what is it, Leo?
Well, this
Copyright violation.
but that doesn't.
That's
Why don't
not-
they call them copyright violators?
Because that doesn't
violators.
sound bad.
They're violators. They're violators.
Oh, violators.
That sounds
They
bad.
could call them child molesters.
That is
Why
one
not?
that
Everyone
has
else
a
does.
definite negative
Yeah.
connotation.
Yeah.
But the perception is not. They're right. I was talking to someone the other day about another person that we know, and he goes, "Oh, that guy's so great. He's such a geek. He downloads all the latest movies for us and shares it with everybody. He's so generous.
He's a copyright sharer.
He is. That's the perception.
Right.
Is that you're a copyright? You're a sharer.
You're a Robin Hood.
But I don't even think it crossed their mind whatsoever.
That there was anything illegal.
If it's on the internet, it must be okay. If that
No,
means it's there to
there's
begun.
a sociological problem because that is absolutely true. There's a lot of people that don't think twice about any of this stuff.
How about we're getting a suggestion from Titus in the chat room? Carpetbaggers.
Carpet bagger. Bagger is always a good.
Carpetbagger.
No.
Data molesters.
Call them.
Data molesters. That's good.
That would work.
Copy thieves.
Or what about
Terrorists.
What about-
Let's go all the
They're
way.
terrorists.
some sort of things like it inflates your price, so it hits you in your pocketbook? Like
They're stealing from me.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
everybody
that's
was
believable.
paying, if everybody was
Yeah,
paying,
that'll
then
work.
your movie tickets would cost less.
Yeah,
What's
right.
it-
Sure.
Sure they would.
I'm just saying this
That
is what the
that's not
anti-piracy
going to
people
convince
are
anybody,
saying.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
apparently they're not going to be able to come up with another word.
Yeah, they're screwed.
We'll be back in a moment. We're talking with Becky Worley of ABC News. Good Morning America. Mother of 5. How many
This
kids? Twins.
Twins.
2. Just 2. And Twitterer at B. Worley. I had it spelled wrong. I had it B. Worlette.
Oh,
So if somebody named B. Worlette suddenly gets a lot of followers, give them back. Also with us, John C. Dvorak, Dvorak.org/blog, and Channel Dvorak, place to get all of John's many. They said you sounded drunk this morning on No Agenda.
They say that every week. I just get up. I'm up out of bed.
You know what's funny?
If I'm going to be drunk in the morning, I think I'd have it, well, maybe it'd be funny.
Packet beggars.
packet beggars.
The
That's
packet.
fun.
So you were listening to the show this morning? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah. I listen all the time. I love No Agenda. That's where I get my conspiracy theories.
You just hate the show. That's what we figure.
I hate it with a
You're
passion.
just looking for some.
I hate it so much.
Bandwidth hog?
You're just looking.
Bandwidth hog. No, it's been used.
Oh.
Now you look really tiny. I put the microphone up in your face, and you're looking so small. And see, now watch. Just look over there. See, I put Dvorak on. He looks massive.
It's the yellow
I'm
stripes.
He's huge. And then I put you on. You look like a little tiny person. I got to zoom in or something.
It's all right. I'll take tiny. Trust me.
The tiny Becky Worley.
We had actually a pretty good no agenda today.
What were you talking about?
I don't remember.
That is a marketing guy right there.
It was something. You know, you should tune in and find out.
Prior to your coming
This
back,
portion of the show brought to you by... Thank you, Becky. You're so good. What do they do at ABC if it's time for a commercial?
they go to black, whether you're talking or not. Shut
They do.
up,
They probably
Worley.
do, don't they? Because you're on a live show when you do GMA. There's no like.
And the most important,
And we're out. And we're clear.
no, I was demoing the Google Voice Search, and I searched Stephanopoulos using Google Voice Search, and we were up on a hard break, and I said, and look at the results. And I turned the camera, the phone to the camera.
Downy fabric softener.
It saw the camera for maybe 3 frames, and then they went
That's all
straight
you
to
need.
black. Well, then Jimmy Kimmel grabbed it.
You're
And
kidding.
No, Kimmel grabbed it, and He had me turning the phone to camera to show the results of the George Stephanopoulos search using Google Voice Search, and they showed a picture in the phone of Snuffleupagus.
I remember that. That was very funny. You were famous. George Snuffleupagus.
I was mortified.
What do you think? Do you think a writer was watching and said, "Hey, there's a joke.
There's material.
There's material."
Right. That's right. Well, the people on CBS had it easy. They had Harry Smith. Gee, that's real tough to test the Google search on
I think
that.
George Stephanopoulos is good.
Right?
George Stephanopoulos
That's
is
right.
actually probably.
When you try me,
that.
you
Worked.
get if you.
Here, give it to me. Let's try it.
Well, you
rebooted my machine. What the hell are you doing?
I'm trying to.
We'll do an ad. And
You
then
are
we'll
such
come
a
back to it.
hacker. He rebooted. He's trying to get into my system.
No.
So
I'm wiping off all the fingerprints. Carbonite.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got a bad guy like John C. Dvorak trying to get at your data, you need to back it up. Backup is so important, and that's why I recommend Carbonite Online Backup. Let me tell you, there's two things that are critical to backup. First of all, it's got to be automatic, because you know what? You're not going to remember to do it. You're just not. It's got to be easy, right? Because if it's hard, you're not going to do it. And the most important thing is it has to be off-site. Now, let me make the case for why off-site. You're backing up right now. You're burning into CDs or DVDs, and you put them in a stack. Maybe you're putting them in the bookshelf. Or you've got an external hard drive. This is probably the most common method, right? You back it up. You got an external hard drive hooked up by USB. You're backing it up. You feel good. You got 2 copies of everything. And then what happens? Your house falls down. There's a fire. There's a flood. Bad guys break in. Happened to Francis Ford Coppola. He's working down in Buenos Aires. Rented a beautiful, lovely house. Had his computer there. Francis is no fool. Was backing up regularly. The bad guys broke in the house. They stole the computer and they stole the backup. And I shouldn't laugh because the guy was devastated. He said 20 years worth of scripts lost. He did not have. Yeah, it's a terrible story. He did not have off-site backup. That's why off-site is so important. And I think Carbonite really is the easiest solution. In fact, you could try it right now and see how quickly. Now, you could set it up. You got to have high-speed internet. Don't do this on dial-up. And, of course, if you have a lot of data and not a very fast connection, it may take a while to back it up. But once you've got it all backed up, then the updates are quick because it just updates changes. It'll take you a couple of weeks to try it, and I think this is worth doing. Go to Carbonite.com and use the offer code TWiT. You don't even need a credit card or anything. You could just start using it for 2 weeks. If after the 2 weeks, and I really want you to do the trial, if after the 2 weeks you decide to buy 2 months off, and by the way, 2 months off, it's already low prices, less than $5 a month for unlimited backup. Every bit of your personal data inside your computer backed up automatically, encrypted using AES 256-bit encryption. So it's absolutely private. This is just a great solution. They have an iPhone app so you can see what's backed up, download the files if you need to. You can log in to your Carbonite account from any computer, Mac or PC. It's just a great solution. Now, there are other companies doing this, and I encourage you to try them all. I think the first thing, though, and people forget to do this, you should try is a restore. Just back up one file and restore it. See how easy it is with Carbonite and how hard it is with the other guys. Carbonite.com, offer code TWiT. I'm a big fan, and I think you will be too. I'm Leo Laporte. We are talking tech news. The great Becky Worley, my good friend from the good old days at Tech TV, is here. You know, I added a bunch of I created a personal Facebook account that's like not because I had a public account was too full. And you're on my personal account. Yeah. And I added just Tech TV to people. And it's kind of fun. They're all doing so great, aren't they?
It's very stimulating. I learn a lot from all the old alums, and it's a great network of people. And we were the inmates running the asylum, kids
Yeah, we were
running our own cable network. And
that's a really good way to describe it because it's true.
It was.
We didn't have much oversight.
We didn't.
No.
I mean, it was kooky crazy. But what I learned from the whole experience was that as insane as we were and just winging it, the billionaires responsible for the structure were crazier than us.
They were crazier than we were.
That was a good lesson.
Yeah, they were. My favorite thing is getting rid of Scott's show, which was absolutely the most well-produced
Internet
show.
Tonight with Scott Harriet and Michaela Pereira.
Slicker than anything.
Brilliantly written, very funny. It had that incredible tech. What was his name? The tech guru?
The
security guard.
Security guard.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
What was his name?
And then out of the blue, Paul Allen apparently just watched the show.
I don't like that show.
No, I know when they jumped the shark. It was when Leo streaked the set.
You think it's my fault?
It was. I mean, granted, you were only showing a little bit about crack, but it was still.
Well, now
that
you'd
was
be
the
on the sexual offenders list if you pull that crack.
That's true.
right.
I'd have to notify
You,
people. You broke my phone, by the way. It says, too many login attempts. You must now give me your firstborn or something. To unlock, sign in with your Google account. All I can do is make an emergency call. You broke my...
The surf guru.
You have
The surf guru.
Yeah.
Thank you. Chat room knows all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
whatever happened to him? Ed, what was his name?
He was an actor. He did a lot of ads.
Very talented
He was really good.
improv guy.
Yeah. Hey, one story I really loved this week was the disgruntled ex-employee of a car company who remotely disabled
yeah, that's a great story.
all of the cars.
So now this is the thing, though. This is a real eye opener.
Yeah, totally.
Because this Texas Auto Center was putting a little black box, probably without anybody's knowledge, on every car that they carried the paper on.
Right.
So that if you didn't pay
in full,
they could disable your car or, and I like this, beep the horn incessantly.
Yeah, I like the horn beeping one. Beep, 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 beep.
So-
What's wrong with my car? The horn's
it's
beep,
like
beep.
the techie alternative of the repo man.
Yeah, there's no repo man. We just beep your horn incessantly.
And disable your car.
You
until
haven't
pay.
paid. It should make it. Oh, you want my phone again?
Well, we want to go over these apps.
All right, hold on. I got to log in.
It's a good.
It should say, they should have a horn, like signature horn tune that says, like defaulter, pirate,
Right.
something brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. No, these black boxes, they're trying to put them in
Is this
all
common?
cars.
They said for 10 years they've been doing this.
And they haven't had any problems for
There's
they say, in terms of this hacking.
Okay, first of all, not a hack. It is dignifying this guy and, frankly, inflating their security to call it a hack. The guy was fired, laid off, disgruntled. He asked his buddy for a login, and his buddy, who still worked there, gave it to him.
Yeah.
That's not a hack.
No.
And then he, just to be clear about the story, because we might have backed into this. So then the disgruntled employee disables 100 vehicles or more.
First, he does names of people he doesn't like. He actually looks at some individual names.
Oh, I don't like him.
I don't like his name. Becky Worley. She sounds horrible. And so either disables their car or in the middle of the night makes the horn start going off. And people couldn't even turn off the horn. They had to disconnect the battery. That's how bad it was. Okay, so the Texas Auto Center starts getting calls.
There's some humor in
It's
that.
great.
Well, then he realizes, wait a minute, I have access to all 1,100 names, and it starts going one by one alphabetically through the names. So you're glad your name is Worley.
Oh, yeah. You do not want to
But
be.
John's got trouble.
Yeah, I'd be nailed. Beep, beep, beep. What the hell's going on out there?
100 cars later, they finally figure out. I mean, he's not a hacker. They finally say, well, who is this guy? And they find him. They track him down by his IP
Well,
address.
you mean he's not a hacker because he didn't do it in binary?
He's not a hacker
No,
because
because he didn't hack anything.
He didn't hack anything. He just borrowed somebody's login.
Well,
and what's the real?
Mitnick would say that's social hacking.
Yeah, but the
was
Texas
social
Auto
hacking.
Center didn't exactly secure the damn thing.
Well, anyway, so this is a scourge.
It's terrible. I
And
wonder
it's
if
gonna-
my car's
and
got it.
they're going to promote this idea so that, in fact, you see all this chat about putting black boxes in the car and all the crap they're giving Toyota, and they want the black box. They keep talking about it. At some point, they're going to use these black boxes as a way to just track you like a dog.
I totally disagree.
And they're going to
From
download.
a financing perspective?
No, not for that. Just like they're going to for the tax purposes of a broke state like California, they're going to download your black box and say, well, it looks like Becky sped here and here and here. Send her 5 tickets. Here's one for $150. Here's one for $200. Here's one for $300. And boom, that's an easy $500. Next.
Do you think they'll do it for revenue?
Yeah. Everything's for revenue.
Yeah, and the bottom line is all money, isn't it?
Conspiracy theorists. You've been
No
watching
conspiracy here.
too
This is
much.
just smart. I would do it. If
He
I
would
was
do it.
governor.
If he could, he would. Look at him.
Absolutely. We need money in this
So
state.
should
We're
Meg
broke.
Whitman be governor of California?
God,
Oh,
no.
do not start that conversation in
Please.
this.
She's scary. Have you seen the viral videos they're doing? This is
You
kind of
can't get your
creepy.
phone working again.
Because I'm trying to do a show and you want me to
Here.
log in. No, yeah, I
You
need
gotta
my.
log it in,
I gotta log
password?
in.
Can't do it.
Man.
I could do it.
Well, I'll chat a little bit then.
Go ahead, you talk.
Meg
I'll-
Whitman, I don't. For one thing, nobody has a prayer against Jerry Brown.
What do you think? Governor Moonbeam is going to win?
Oh, absolutely.
You're kidding.
Oh, here we go. Another bet.
You think Jerry Brown is going to win?
Yeah,
I'll
think
bet. How much? What should the bet be?
Another bottle of Leoville Lascaux.
Okay, Leoville Lascaux.
All right.
A bottle of Leoville
Who
Lascaux.
can beat
If
him?
Jerry Brown. I think Meg Whitman could beat him.
Oh.
Really?
She's got a lot of money.
No, I'll tell you what. Here's what the deal
And
is.
Californians have shown a real pattern of stupidity.
Dad, Jerry Brown. So Jerry Brown is very personable.
He is?
He's funny.
He's the Ralph Nader of governors.
We all
No,
look
he's
at.
way cuter. I'm just saying.
Is that how you determine who
That's
you're
when
gonna-
she's a woman. That's the way all women vote.
I would have voted for Kennedy. I mean, I'm just saying.
Actually, I would have voted for Kennedy.
I mean, come on.
So anyway, the Brown should be able to take her because I think she's gonna. I mean, I don't have anything against her. I've never met her, but I see her on TV. I think she's.
Let me just put it in a
coarse.
nutshell.
She's slightly.
Yeah, she's a little coarse.
Coarse.
Let me put it in a nutshell. You like something factual as opposed to he's cute, she's coarse.
Well, he's dated a celebrity.
Who? Linda
Ronstadt?
Ronstadt. Yeah.
See?
Well, who did she date?
Magazine Factor.
I have
Pierre
no idea.
Omidyar.
Did she really?
No.
I can't even pronounce that name.
They didn't date. No, but here, this is the woman who is CEO of eBay, buys Skype for $3.5 billion and forgets to buy the part of Skype,
Oh, yeah.
the
Bonehead
intellectual
move.
property
Bonehead.
part where you need that so otherwise they could just walk away.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was, you don't want that person running the state.
No,
Why am I arguing for this? This is going to cost me a bottle of wine.
it's gonna. Yeah,
But Jerry Brown, well, I like Jerry. I'll vote for Jerry. I like Jerry. He's Governor Moonbeam.
he's Governor Moonbeam. This is what we need in California.
He was a good governor.
Besides that, he can work with the Democrats and
You know what the real problem is? The state of California is so structured that the governor, there's nobody can, look who we've had. We had the Terminator as the governor, and he became hated.
Yeah.
The state of California is a weak governor state. The legislature is scared to death. It's all done by referendum, and you can't win. Nobody who wins that job. Why would you want that job?
Well, that's why Jerry Brown's actually a good candidate because he's had it and he has nothing.
He doesn't care.
He has nothing to prove. He just is trying to.
Well, he won't
do
prove
right.
anything because he doesn't have any power.
Well, it'd be fun to watch.
Why does Meg Whitman want to be?
I guess we'll make women.
Meg Whitman's tech. Why does Meg
She,
Whitman?
stepping stone to the presidency.
She has citizenship already.
Yeah, Arnold.
We
That's the one.
think.
Do you remember that Arnold tried to make it legal for a non-American
Yes, I
born?
Hey, I don't think that was really his doing.
I think it was. He
Yeah,
has
well, it's-
ambitions.
Well, he doesn't anymore.
Great ambitions. Yeah, not more. Because you know why? Like so many before him, he was broken on the rack of the California governorship.
He got smacked down.
Pete Wilson did okay as governor.
He did?
Yeah, I think so.
What's he been up to these days?
He's in bed as we
Oh,
speak.
he and Gray Davis are in bed together.
No, Gray Davis was the worst.
You can't, okay.
You guys are really into baseball.
If you're gonna name your kid and you want them to be a governor or any politician, don't
Gray.
or anything, don't give them the name Gray.
Well,
I love that
appeals
name.
to many people.
Gray?
Neither black nor white.
Okay, let's get back to
Yes.
real topics before the chat room gets out of control.
That's right.
Yeah, it's all their fault.
So what is this Twitter to be available at anywhere?
Okay, so we're at South by Southwest last Monday. The big speech at Monday is going to be Ev Williams at Twitter, and the rumor is he's going to announce a way for Twitter to make money. Monetization, finally, the holy grail of Twitter. Twitter, which is, arguably the biggest .com launch in 4 years, huge. Finally, they figured out a way to make money. So, no, what does he announce? At anywhere, which is bad grammar, by the way. I believe you as a writer would confer that.
With the @ sign especially.
At anywhere.
Yeah, okay. At anywhere.
Where are you? I'm at anywhere. So the idea is anywhere you go, you'll be able to log in with your Twitter credentials. So with Huffington Post or Yahoo or they sign up a whole bunch of people. You just log in with your Twitter post. But better yet,
Why would I want to do that?
well, that's a good question. Better yet, you're reading a HuffPo article and you can tweet what you think of that article directly from the Huffington Post.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, it's
This
like
is his
digging
big-
it, right?
This is like my son's crazy tweets. Oh, I'm reading HuffPost. This article stinks. It's like, what?
But what about
That's stupid.
monetizing journalism and all of these paywall issues that are cropping up?
Well, I
for-
think that's the idea. I mean, I think the New York Times is going to do it. A lot of companies are going to do this.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is- it is-
ABC is like trying to figure it out.
Well, it's like
Everybody
putting a little
is.
dig box on there. What's the
It's
difference?
very much the same, I think. Yeah, I think you're right. It's dig.
But then
Dig
doesn't
this, dig this.
I mean, just to play devil's avocado here, doesn't Twitter then become sort of like a PayPal that creates a micropayment situation, and your identity and your credit card could all be on file?
Well,
with
it's
Twitter?
more than that. You're not even getting global enough. I think the real battle, and if Facebook's involved, Google's involved, and Twitter's involved, is for what I call internet namespace. Right now, when somebody says, who are you on the internet? You say BeckyWorley.com, or John says ChannelDvorak.com. What Twitter wants you to say is at B. Worley. What Facebook wants you to say is Facebook.com/Becky Worley. What Google Friend Connect wants you to say, whatever is, the Google profile. So they all would like to be that address book, the definitive place you are on the internet. And that's what At Anywhere is all about, is that, well, you'll suddenly be at B. Worley, and John will suddenly be at the real
Dvorak.
And I'll be at Leo Laporte, the one and only.
Yeah, well, I'm the real Dvorak.
You'll-
Did somebody else get John C. Dvorak?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, and the
They won't give it back to you?
No, the Twitter guys won't even give me a certified, verified bug.
This is good. I got it, right?
You did?
Well, yeah, I got verified. It just happened one day. And then I changed my profile information because it was just a joke. And then I thought, well, if they're going to be verified, I should have like my actual who I am. And it took away the verified. Like, we
They
don't
hate
know.
you, you know.
Yeah, I know they hate
we
me.
gotta
re-verify
We
you.
tried, Robert Scoble and I tried to get into the secret Twitter party at South by Southwest. And
You couldn't get in?
We were told, no, I'm sorry, you can't come.
What? You couldn't? Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So I'm hearing correctly. You, Leo Laporte, with all your gear and you're like promoting stuff.
Right.
Essentially, you're
I
like
had
a
a
one-man
camera.
promotion band.
And a camera.
Floating around. And you went to the Twitter party.
With Robert Scoble, who probably was single-handedly made Twitter.
And Scoble, who probably single-handedly made Twitter.
Right.
And who also
You went
attributes
to
Leo.
the Twitter party and they told you guys to screw yourselves?
We tweeted, actually. We direct messaged a person, an organizer, and she said, I can't remember who it was, but Robert did this. And she said, no, I'm sorry, there's no room.
There's no room?
Or something. And then Jason hears about it, and Jason comes over and says, I'll get you in. And I said, no, screw that. I'm not going to go. I don't need Jason Calacanis' bitch.
Yeah, totally. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Oh, Jason will get me in.
They should have welcomed you.
They should have. No, I don't care. It's fun. You know what? It's just fun to rag on them.
Well,
I love Twitter. I use Twitter like crazy.
Well, they
you know what's
apparently
sad?
They don't like you.
I
That's
don't
the
care
fact.
if they like
because you actually probably should have sued them the minute they came out with their
It's too late
product.
now. So here's
too late
what I'm really sad about. I love Google Buzz. I know I'm the only one who does.
You are.
And in fact, it's apparent now because no one else is on Google Buzz. It's like I hear crickets when I go there, and it makes me so sad.
You have a short window.
What
I think,
happened
in
with
this
you?
world.
Do, and this is Google. This isn't just some guy coming along. This is Google. Google somehow fumbled Buzz so badly that now nobody will use it.
I actually find
They
this very
screwed up.
comforting and refreshing because I find that anything Apple and Google do, I can get coverage on the network level.
Right.
But really interesting things that smaller people do, it's really hard to sell.
Because they don't have the name.
Yeah, and so the fact that Google can seriously screw something up is comforting in sort of an open market sense of things.
It is. And it shows the power of Twitter. I mean, Twitter is so dominant that even a company like Google can't march in and say, we want to play in this space. They can't.
Well,
Did you ever use Buzz?
nope.
No. Did you ever use Buzz?
I checked it out for a little bit. I
Yeah.
followed a few people, and I actually found the threads were I don't have the
Jejune
time.
and trite, banal,
Overwhelming.
overwhelming.
I just don't need that much data. I need someone who can edit that data and tell me what's important.
So I think maybe Google did it for me. It's like Leo Buzz. Maybe that's what happened. It's like my Buzz. Have you seen the campaigns cities are doing to get Google to put in gigabit? We're going to talk about that in just a second. I mean,
yeah.
Topeka renamed itself to Google Kansas for the month of March.
Yeah.
They promised to name
Yeah,
the children
talk about brown nosers.
Google.
Well, I've made a promise too, and I'm going to tell you what that is in just a second. Before I do, though, I do want to mention Audible.com. See, we're trying to get it here in Petaluma. And if Google comes to Petaluma, I will do something better than giving them a bottle of Leoville wine. But before we do that, I do want to mention my friends at Audible.com. Audible is a great bookstore. 70,000 wonderful books you can listen to. There's so many times. I was talking to Francine Hardaway at South by Southwest. Very nice woman. And she said, because of you, I knew about Audible, but I didn't subscribe. I heard all the, the plugs for books, and I thought, well, all right, I'll try it. And she said, I have rediscovered reading. I didn't have time to read. Who has time to read nowadays? But we all have time when we're in the car or at the gym, just times when you couldn't hold a book, but you could actually get some reading done. And that's what I love about Audible.com. I load up my iPod, your iPhone, your Kindle, your Zune, and put great books on there. And then whenever I've got some downtime, I can listen. You remember Nathaniel West, don't you, John C. Dvorak?
Yeah, absolutely.
Author of Miss Lonely Hearts, The Day of the Locust. But how many people remember Eileen McKenney?
Nope.
No.
She used to be my second grade teacher.
Eileen McKenney was a literary heroine, the inspiration for her sister Ruth's humorous stories, My Sister Eileen, which became a play, a film, TV show. and in fact inspired Leonard Bernstein's musical Wonderful Town. She and her sister lived in a basement apartment in the village with street-level window into which men frequently peered.
Ooh.
Husband and wife were intimate with F. Scott Fitzgerald, Dorothy Parker, Catherine White, S.J. Perlman, Bennett Cerf, and many of the literary, theatrical, and movie notables of the era.
I think you failed to say that she's the wife of Nathaniel West.
Thank you very much. There it is. You are brilliant. There's the connection, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
The new book is called Lonely Hearts, The Screwball World of Nathaniel West and Eileen McKenney. You picked right up on that. You're brilliant. This is a neat new book. I don't know. You have maybe this isn't for everybody, but if you're into this kind of great literary era and the great bon mots and witticisms, and this is a fun book. But okay, that's not you don't want that. Can I recommend another book that I'm just finishing that has transformed my? You should read this, John C. Dvorak. Daniel Suarez's Demon. You want a conspiracy theory?
I don't know why I was being associated with conspiracy theories.
Wasn't that what you talk about on No
them?
Agenda?
No, we talk about we deconstruct the news.
The Illuminati and the great global conspiracy.
No.
Okay. Demon actually is kind of scary. It's a murder mystery about a very famous game designer who passes away of brain cancer but leaves behind a demon computer program which takes over the world.
Oh, yeah, this is a very popular book. You like this book?
Oh, my God. It underscores our vulnerability as we all become more interconnected and dependent on computers. This book just scares the pants off of you because basically, if you think about it, it's completely credible. Suarez is great because he really obviously understands technology. So it's not one of those books where they have kind of boneheaded pseudo-technology phrases. This guy really knows what he's talking about, and it is such a good book.
Can I make a quick Audible plug?
You make
totally
a recommendation.
Unsolicited.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with an individual book. I asked my mother the other day, why have you stopped doing your daily walks? And she said, because I stopped subscribing to books on tape.
Yep.
And I said, well, let's get you hooked up with Audible. And it motivates her. She only listens to her Audible books when she's working out. And so if she's got a great page turner, metaphorically, going, it gets her back walking with the headphones on. And it's a great way to motivate you to work out in a reward-based system if the story is the reward.
It's been great for me. I go to the gym every day now because I can't wait to read, to listen to my books. And when you have a book like Demon, you're exactly right. You cannot put this down. Listen to the review. I heard about this book from Leo Laporte on his podcasts. It seemed interesting, so I gave it a go. Damn good book. Leo was right. Even though this book is supposed to be fiction, it seems like it could happen in today's highly computerized world. I read the book over 2 days while driving across country. I was so impressed with it, I'm downloading the sequel, Freedom. Leo, are you listening? This is written in the style of Dan Brown on a good day. Totally riveting. I agree. It's really well written. By the way, credit to Tom Merritt, who's going to join us in a little bit. He was the guy who suggested I read this. It was a pick for their Tom and Veronica's Sword and Laser podcast. Anyway, there's so many great books. This is the point, and one of the things that really happens when Audible listeners get together is it's always like a book group. Hey, did you listen to this? Hey, did you listen to this? And you're always looking for great books to listen. 70,000 choices. I'm going to give you a way you can get 2 books free right now. Go to audible.com/twit2. You'll sign up for the Platinum plan, which is 2 books a month. That's about right for me. Easily can do 2 books a month, and that's without a long commute. I know people have several Platinum plans, but 2 books a month, and your first 2 are free, and even if you cancel, and you can cancel at any time, you get to keep those books forever. Another thing I like about Audible, when I used to rent books, you'd send them back, and that'd be it. Audible, your library is your library forever. I have over 300 books that I can go back to at any time and listen to again. Audible.com/twit2. Please do yourself a favor. Give it a try. You're going to love it. Oh, a new one from Michael Lewis. Oh, I've got to read this. Remember Liar's Poker? Wasn't that a good book, John?
This new book by Lewis is supposed to be fantastic.
It's called The Big Short. It's the story of the economic meltdown of last year. God, I'm putting that on my list. Audible.com/twit2. So apparently Lisa Tickled Pink is tweeting.
Oh, she is?
Of course she is.
Stop the presses.
Right.
This is a huge story. Just in, Lisa Tickled Pink says, Leo Laporte, ha, fantastic. I love that you're watching Twit Live. I'm being naughty in class. Whoa. If I flunk, it's Leo's fault.
She's a student? I thought she was a middle-aged woman.
You are so naughty, Lisa.
Whoa.
She says, I'm fading into the background with all that brown. Oh, she wants me to wear pink.
Yeah, I think you'd look good in pink.
Takes a big man.
No, she is a
Yeah, it
student.
takes a big man to wear,
pink.
Leo, yeah.
Does anybody do any guys wear pink? I mean,
Yeah, preppy guys.
oh, preppy, yeah.
Yeah, summertime. Like, look at John. He's
Yeah.
wearing striped yellow.
But this isn't pink.
No, but it's like pink.
Is it? You think so?
It's the equivalent. It's the yellow equivalent of pink.
Oh, I thought
Yellow's the new pink. Didn't you know that?
So while you guys were at you were at South by
I love
Southwest.
that. I've never been. Have you? You've been?
No, because
you gotta go.
well, I don't want to make a big deal about it.
It's the biggest
but
party in the world where nobody gets laid.
Really? Is that true?
Yep.
Because it's a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually quite
There
a
were
few.
chicks there
You
this
know
year.
what?
Yeah, but they're...
You know what? It's the sexiest computer conference I've ever been to. There are a lot of women there.
Yeah, but
very attractive women.
Yeah. So is that why you liked it? Mm-hmm. Just getting that straight. I'm going to straighten that out.
I don't want to make a big deal because I was someplace where there.
Where were you?
I was at the Home and Houseware show in
Really?
Chicago.
Oh man!
I'm just saying.
Oh man! You trump me, man.
That would have been a good one.
Now, people get laid there.
Oh, dude.
I was
There's nothing
cleaning the bathroom
sexier than an
I
apron.
vacuumed.
I found a great new vacuum from Panasonic, a good mop.
Oh, yeah?
It has a salad spinner in the bucket.
A mop and salad
wait.
spinner?
Wait, a vacuum with a salad spinner or a
No.
mop with a salad spinner?
A mop.
Oh, that's been around for
That's
years.
crazy.
That was the,
That's crazy
spin and
talk.
go.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. The spin
Oh,
and
I
go.
loved
That you
it.
could see. That's seen on TV.
So
well,
that's
it's brand new as seen on TV. That's good stuff. But I found it interesting. I did have a point.
why
besides
is
just
I want to
brand-
hear about the vacuum cleaner.
You
It's-
can
it
wash
does-
all
Did
the
you get a
parts of it.
sample?
No, I don't roll like that.
It doesn't suck.
I don't roll like that. She says.
You can pull all the pieces
She's not
out
allowed
and wash
to.
them all independently so that your
can borrow
dog
it.
smell does not pervade through the home as you vacuum.
You
That's
know,
big.
people say I smell like a dog, and I don't.
I have not noticed that.
Who
but
said
maybe
you
it's
smell
'cause
like
I
a dog?
She just told me my dog smell doesn't penetrate. Go ahead.
What I noticed was
Take
that
a whiff. I don't think I smell like a dog.
Hey, we don't want to see this on the stream.
with that the TWiT that we did last summer where it was 103 degrees
I smelled
in here,
like a
you
dog.
smelled like dog.
I smelled like
CES,
a dog.
I didn't notice any deficit of innovation this year. I didn't notice that there was any
That is
result.
dim. That is
What does
faint,
that
that is
mean?
faint praise.
Well, I didn't. I expected
I
that
didn't
R&D
notice any-
budgets would have been absolutely slashed because of the economy.
Yeah.
But at the Home and Houseware show,
Yeah.
it was a dearth of innovation, aka nothing, baby.
A dearth of innovation.
So
And
there
so-
was nothing, but you said the Panasonic had a good vacuum
That's my
cleaner.
point. I found a
was
mop
it?
with a salad spinner,
And-
a silicone pod to boil vegetables in, and a cupcake maker. Whereas I did not see a major drop down in innovation at CES, and I found it fascinating that technology and consumer electronics still get so that they were
That's
not
where that.
affected by the recession as
Yeah.
much
That's
as
because of
something
Moore's
that's
law.
just-
You can't stop. It's like you're on a treadmill and you can't stop running. So there's always innovation showing up. Otherwise, you
Let's
just go
go
out
to
of business
Pablo
overnight.
in Walnut Creek.
I have that clip too. Let's go to Pablo at Walnut Creek.
Is that like
I'm
Bodega
writing books
Bay?
all the time.
I have the virtual Dvorak soundboard, so anytime John's not here,
He just runs those.
I could just play these clips.
That wasn't off the soundboard, by the way. That's another noise.
Well,
what
I don't
Cheney got
remember
his
all the
son.
details.
So in other words, this is what he thinks of your analysis, Becky.
I know.
He's playing old Dvorak clips.
You know what? I'm the only chick that comes on TWiT that you two can abuse, and I take that as great.
I'm not
Compliment.
abusing
I
you.
get where
I'm
you're
just-
going with this, Becky, which is that innovation lives in the tech sector, where in the home and houseware sector, it's a little bit slower.
And what other
can you
sectors?
do? What new? What would you? Let's ask this question. What were you expecting to
Well,
find?
call Kat Schwartz. She invented the Swiffer. I don't know.
I think the Swiffer invented the swirler. By
How
the way.
about was there any
know.
robot cleaner uppers?
Yes,
Well, then that's innovative.
the Mint. It puts the Swiffer on a robot, and it swifts your house via robotics.
Is
but-
there any new Roombas coming down the pike?
No, there's a Nito which debuted at CES. They didn't even. Yeah, exactly. They didn't give a rip about the Home and Houseware show. And the big innovation there, vacuums in straight lines as opposed to circular patterns.
Oh.
Well, that is one of the things people don't like. I don't know why I'm saying this.
You look like you're drunk when you run the Roomba.
That is one of the things. There's these swirly patterns on your carpet, these random swirly patterns, and people want it to look like a newly mowed lawn with straight lines. And so that actually is a consumer complaint.
With the Roomba?
With the Roomba, is it looks like a random walk vacuum, which it is.
Yeah. It looks like a drunk vacuumed your house.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants
Who
that.
could have?
Hey, what drunk was in here vacuuming your house?
But
Can
could
you imagine an NFL game where the field looked like Roomba had mowed it?
Yeah. But who would have thought, designing the Roomba, I mean, here you are. This is exciting. You've got a robotic vacuum. This is huge.
No, it's really a sweeper, not a vacuum.
Okay, whatever. But it's
does have a
exciting.
vacuum.
But who would have said, oh, well, wait a minute. There's one problem. The pattern it leaves behind looks like you're drunk.
Well, the mechanics behind it were all based on the bots that they used to find bombs. And
it's a perfect, because they need to find everything. And so it's guaranteed over a certain period of time to hit every nook and cranny, so to speak.
Oh, that's too bad. Let's take another call.
Well, you might as well do the it's time the time in.
You like the time?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. in.
This was the sound effect that we use to begin every Dvorak on Computers show.
The time is now 2 a.m. in Bakava, Belgian Congo, the home of the Jungle Telegraph. We'd like to say hello to Ungat Unga Ump and Mrs. Ump and all the boys up at the transmitter.
It's just non sequitur. John loved that.
I just found it to be amusing.
I found it. I did too, as did I.
Soundboards are amazing. Have you guys done the Jersey Shore soundboard?
From that show?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta find that now.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So the Jersey Shore, do you watch that? Oh, she's playing it right now.
Oh,
do you watch the Jersey Shore?
I watched it twice, and I'm still feeling dirty. I've
never seen it.
I saw a few minutes of it.
What is it? What is it? It's a bunch of...
It stinks.
It's a place where adolescents of Italian-American descent celebrate their sexuality.
I would send her a picture of my and a pack of bubblegum and say, chew on this.
It's kind of old school. It's
Like
come
my
and
ass.
gone.
Oh, jeez.
Well, since we've kind of gone off the deep end here, maybe we should get back to tech news.
No, I will cut your hair while you're sleeping.
It advocates the use of
this is like
enhancing metabolic agents for lifting weights.
I don't like this
Tanning.
show. The reason I don't like this show, there's a lot of tanning.
There's a lot of tanning.
Is because these people know what they're doing. It's like self-conscious, right? They know
They're made now.
All
by the
reality
way.
shows are that way.
No. Really?
Yo, bitch, keep talking. I'll rock you.
It's where other adolescents learn not to hit women.
Yes, I had sex. Like, hello. You're going to have sex if you're into somebody. It's natural.
A good voice. That's a clip you should use.
I can use that one. I'm going to save that one.
Yeah, save that one.
Hello. It's natural.
Wear a thong bikini. That's a little bit more classier.
Yeah.
That's so much more
A
classier.
little more classier.
So long as you're
so I
tanned
haven't watched this show. I don't know this show.
But the clips are good.
I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah, we smushed.
We smooshed.
Yeah.
So there's like words like these are Jersey. I grew up in my family's from Jersey.
No, you're from Rhode
But
Island.
not the shore.
I mean, well,
If one thing
Rhode
leads
Island
to
and
another,
Jersey.
I'm not going to tell them to get off.
One of the characters' names is just situations.
So what's his website?
Just Google Jersey Shore soundboard. It'll pop up pretty darn quick.
Never mind.
But I mean, the one thing I like about it is sort of one of those galvanizing cultural events.
It is.
of
People.
this.
Well, the reason I'm interested is people talk about it nonstop.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the conversation. Because it's so horrible, right?
It is horrible. It is horrible. And it's come and gone, but I just...
Is it over?
I think pretty much. I mean, maybe it'll be back, but it was epically bad. And I loved the soundboard. It took me back to the Arnold soundboard that we all used to use to prank call people when soundboards were new. And I was like, oh, a soundboard. Awesome.
Honored.
I'd forgotten. Soundboards are cool.
Apple leads the App Store race now. And this might be why the Palm Pre had trouble. 2,000 Palm Pre applications, 40,000 Android applications, 170,000 Apple applications.
That is such a fast development because the
That's
last
from
time I
June
was on
2009. It was 50,000. March 2010, it's 170,000.
it was 100,000 iTunes apps to 10,000 Android apps when I was last on TWiT.
Palm's got 2,000. BlackBerry's got 5,000. Android 30,000. 170,000 for the Apple.
Now, when I was last on, we were talking about this, and you said that the departure of a couple of the key iPhone app makers was going to be the death of the iPhone App Store.
Boy, thanks for remembering that.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Obviously, there was a mini revolt, but you know what? You got to follow the money. And if you're a developer, even though Apple takes 30% and has really arcane approval process, and sometimes you know, you don't know why you didn't get approved, or you've got an update and they just sit on it for months. All of that you put aside, because if you have a hit, you can make millions of dollars. Period.
Leverage.
There's a market.
I wonder if that's going to continue with this watering down process of having so many apps, and a lot of them are redundant.
That has to make it tough.
And it's become so overwhelming. It's
and they're
hard to
redundant.
And
I predict it's all over for the App Store, Apple App Store. Please don't remember I said that. You know, I think the iPad, believe it or not, and I know we have a little difference of opinion on that.
Well, that's because you got money riding on it, and you're going to lose again.
I've got a bottle of freaking wine, man. I got plenty of wine. No, I believe that that's going to make it even worse, because now there's going to be, by the way, an iPad store and an iPhone store, and so I think you're going to have even more apps.
That's, I think, a mistake.
Yeah, it is interesting that they bifurcated it like that.
So, quick iPad thought process for
the
you
word
guys.
of the day: bifurcate.
Bifurcate. Do you think that the book functions in the iPad will be compelling enough to drive it in the mainstream audience, even if they don't give a rip about apps?
I do.
Have you played with one to know this?
Yes.
And you like it?
Love it.
Okay.
And I think that there is a difference between people who have touched it and people who haven't. For some reason, if you've played... Did you play with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. And it's pretty impressive.
I was blown away by not blown away is strong, but I really liked the ebook function because of the color of the paper.
Beautiful.
Of the virtual paper and the page turning and the ability to embed video.
That's going to be, I think, what's going to really be key is I think you're going to, and I've already talked to a number of developers who are looking at ways to do multimedia in books. Magazines are going to take off. Imagine a National Geographic. Well, first of all, you could get the entire National Geographic collection on one iPad. Imagine adding to that photographers narrating their animations, videos. I mean, all the things you could do. And I think if you're a modern content creator, you've got to be looking at that as a real opportunity with the iPad. It's a new way to look at a magazine. John, you seem bored.
No, I'm reading the chat room. I have to catch up with them once in a while.
That's a good idea.
But you know, today's chat room guys are just not that interesting.
No, I think they're fantastic.
It's because you're not naked.
He's kissing their...
Take your yellow referee shirt off.
Take your top off, John.
In China, this is very strange. Not what I would expect. According to McKinsey & Company, the people in the 60 biggest Chinese cities spend 70% of their leisure time on the internet. Even in rural towns.
Where's this again?
China. Even in rural towns, 50%.
There's nothing else to do there.
Far more than watch TV.
No, maybe they don't have TVs.
I think they do. In fact, I remember going to a very small town in China this summer where their business was kumquats.
Maybe the TV sucked there.
They had a beautiful Samsung 52-inch TV and a satellite dish in this relatively modest home.
Right.
They had a whole government plan to subsidize TVs, flat screens for all citizens.
This is how you keep people fat and happy.
Yeah.
You give them the consumer goods, and then they don't care about, well, we don't have human rights, but who cares about the Uyghurs? I've got a 52-inch Samsung.
I interrupted your kumquat story, but they had
that was a story. They had a giant TV. That was a story. They also had, in the same house, in the corner, there were a bunch of jars where they were fermenting and marinating snakes because they make a lovely snake elixir.
How was it?
I did not try it. But you could see, I mean, I'm not kidding. There were snakes. And we
Snakes?
There are mother snakes on this mother Chinese house. And then they made soy milk. So we went there, and they had her grandmother's stone mill, and she poured the soybeans, and my son got to crank them and make soy milk. And I said, "This is delicious. What do you put in this?" And she said, "Gypsum." Is it safe to drink gypsum? Isn't that the stuff they make drywall out of?
Yeah.
Better than
so apparently they thicken it with gypsum.
Gypsum.
I have to look into this.
That can't be right, but that's what she said.
Lime is what you might use if it's pickling.
Gypsum in the soy milk to thicken it. And everybody in the chat room says, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Common usage in drywall.
Drywall and soy milk, apparently.
Hydrated.
Well, yeah, this is the reason I don't drink
sulfate.
soy milk.
I don't think it's regular soy milk. I think it's homemade soy milk. Same people made the snakes and had the 52-inch Samsung.
What were you doing there? Let's ask that question.
Spying for the government. McKinsey also found that Chinese consumers are into online product reviews. 1 in 5 consumers aged 18 to 44 will not in China. This is mainland China. Red China. Communist China.
The PRC.
The PRC. 1 in 5 consumers aged 18 to 44 will not buy a product or service without first consulting an online review.
They must be really pissed about this Yelp situation.
What's going on with Yelp? I bet they are.
The whole issue around Yelp with the...
Like faked reviews and stuff?
So that basically the gist of it, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, John, you will, is that when Yelp salespeople go to an establishment and say, hey, you want to advertise with us? We see you're really prominent on our site and you're getting a lot of traffic.
And by the way...
And the proprietor of the business says, thanks, but no, we've got enough free business out of Yelp. We really don't need to pay for it.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Within days, they say that components of their review structure, some of their reviews disappear, some of their ratings change. Yelp, of course, refutes this and says that
I think
their
just
sales
a few
associates
bad
have
apples
no way
in
of
the
manipulating
sales
this.
side of the business.
But these sites are open to manipulation, I think, somewhat. I mean, don't you think a competing restaurant can get in there and start?
Yeah, but the thing about Yelp is interesting is you can reverse engineer the reviewer and figure out where they're coming from and who they are.
If they actively did, if they cared, that's the question. Does Yelp care?
No, not even Yelp. I'm talking about the users. When I go
what are you
going
to do though?
When I go on Yelp and I see somebody going, "Oh, this place sucks," or "This place is fantastic,"
you check it out. I
should click on the reviewer and see what other reviews they've done. If it's only one, then it's sketchy, and if it's somebody that disagrees with me, I mean, there's a person that gave the French Laundry 1 star. And then if you click on...
And this guy's name was Armenian Laundry.
And no, you click on it, and it turns out they were vegans.
Oh, yeah, well, that's...
And they wouldn't like the French Laundry in a million years.
Right.
And so why are they even reviewing it?
Right.
I mean, it's just like...
There was so much meat. I was overwhelmed by the amount of meat.
There's too much meat.
Meat all the time. Every course had meat.
But, I mean, that's the point, is that this whole thing that's designed to give you true and unfiltered information from other consumers like you so that you don't have to be a savvy consumer. Well, now you have to be savvy about using the consumer review sites.
Right. Well, but of course, and that's what we try to teach our kids, is that critical thinking is important. You don't trust everything you read on the internet. You have to think a little bit about it.
You have to ditch the extremes.
Yeah. That's one way to do it, right? Just take the top and bottom off.
Yeah. I rely on Amazon reviews.
I do too.
I read them
those are
religiously.
Do you think that
Serious Planet reviews in there?
You think so?
Some,
oh yeah.
Some are really.
Can you tell?
Really...
Yeah, I think. Well, I can, and maybe, but I think the best ones you can't. If anybody's any good,
right? So you think you shouldn't trust them?
I think I could go in and write. I think personally, I could go into the Amazon site and write a bogus review for something I've never read or had anything to do with, just based on a few other reviews. And to either slam it or make it sound like the world's greatest book, and no one would ever be able to pick up on the fact that the thing was completely fraudulent.
Yeah, but see, why would you do that? I mean, if I'm saying the smart guy that would do
smack down my enemies.
Don't mess with Dvorak.
So is your small town of Oakland, California, trying to get Google Fiber?
That's you. That's your small town.
Well, you're north of me.
You know, Port Angeles is.
Are they? What are they doing? Are they renaming like special,
what they're doing, they're probably not going to get it because they're not the most competent at stuff like this. But I've pushed Albany. Why shouldn't Albany get it? I think Albany
should get it. So
Berkeley what's the upside? Just backstory.
So Google says they're going to pick 5 communities in the U.S. between the sizes of 50,000 to 500,000 and wire the entire community with fiber, gigabit, up and down, businesses, homes, schools, everything, and sell it to the consumers at a market price. They don't say exactly what that would be, but it would cost them a lot.
$1 million a month.
It's going to cost them a lot of money. But Google's interest in doing this is just to kind of look at. Google has said our business model depends on people using the internet more. The more you use it, the more we make, which is true. So one of the things that's holding us back is bad and expensive internet broadband, and so we want to do something about this. So Petaluma, California, I'm sure Albany, California, I'm sure Port Angeles, they're all doing everything they can to get the Google to come to town. In Duluth, Minnesota, the mayor jumped into Lake Superior. It's ice cold. I don't know why that would make Google want to come to the town.
That would make me go away.
Topeka, Kansas.
Got a mayor that's crazy.
Crazy mayor, get out of here.
Keep your shrinkage to yourself.
Oh, my God, it's so small. Topeka, Kansas decides to call itself Google, Kansas, for the month of March. Sarasota, Florida, they renamed a waterbound park as Google Island, and a local restaurateur is serving Google Teenies. Columbia, Missouri, fans wave 15,000 Google signs at a college basketball game. Holland, Michigan, the Board of Public Works offers $150 worth of dining.
People, wait a minute, stop. If people want this obviously so badly that they're humiliating themselves, why doesn't AT&T or one of these guys?
That's Google's point.
Why don't they just say, "Hey, look at this. There's a
market,
huge demand. Why don't are they that stupid?"
What percentage of the United States do you think is without broadband?
I don't know, but I'm just wondering. But we're talking. But nobody's got gigabit.
It's far too much.
Well, that's too. Yeah. Well, we're numbers 15 in the world when it comes to this stuff.
Rancho Cucamonga, California, wants to rename itself to Rancho Googlemonga.
That's good. If I was a rename, that's the best one. But that's also a fairly wired
they win.
city. This is last mile stuff. This should be rural. This should not be open.
Well, you've seen the National Broadband Plan, right?
Well,
what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's ambitious. I mean, I think it all depends on what your perspective of big government is. If you think that big government's job is to do things that aren't necessarily best for the corporation, I mean, a lot of that 100 million people that aren't wired are rural.
Here's the
rural
problem.
America needs
and they're not going to be wired by corporate America because it's not worth it. It's too expensive. The population density is too small. So why should we spend a lot of money wiring them when we're only going to make a few bucks? So the government has to do it.
It's not going to get done unless it gets subsidized.
The same way that they built the Tennessee Valley Authority to rural electrification. This is rural internetification.
But we're all hardcore libs, so it's hard to know if we see this the same way.
Broadband.gov. The commissioner of the FCC, Julian Janikowski. Speak to us, Julian.
After many months of hard work, the FCC has finally delivered America's first national broadband plan.
He said it slowly so that you could keep up with it on if you're on dial-up. National Broadband Plan. Did you catch that?
For my deepest thanks to the incredible...
Actually, this guy's really smart. We interviewed him during the election.
Agency-wide broadband team that has produced this plan.
Lots of talk, no action.
Okay. Let's look at the plan.
100 million homes with 100 megabits or better.
Right.
And
by the way,
years.
they're distributing
10 years,
which is all very.
There's a lot of pie in the
easily
sky.
divisible by 10.
But look at this: the government is distributing a speed test application. They're asking everybody to test their speed
and then complain.
And they want to show how this is approved by OMB 3060-1129/B. Expires 2/28/2013. I'm a small business. Current street address. My God, it's like doing the
no, it's like PC Pit Stop. What do you guys do? DSL reports, or what do you do to test?
Speedtest.net.
Yeah. I mean, but I think a lot of people overestimate what they need. So, with all the tiered plans, you're paying. The average American is paying $39 a month for broadband.
That seems low. Is that all? It seems like it should be
39. It was 33 in 2008.
Oh, really?
It's going 39 up. In the most.
No, we're getting crappy compared to the rest of the world.
We suck.
We're 14th.
Okay, my download test is in progress. Brought to you by the United States government and Ookla.
Oh, please.
Netmetrics.
What do you think your speeds are?
Well, it says 5, but actually we know because I have. You realize I have 3. I have a T1. I have Ethernet to the first mile. I have 3 Comcast DOCSIS 3 connections.
I'm going to run speedtest.net on this connection.
You're on the Wi-Fi, so it's gated. But
well, that stinks.
Latency tests. This is good. It gives us latency. This is actually a pretty good test. The thing is, it gets uploaded to government servers. They're going to compile a database. They're trying to find out how bad the internet is around the country.
Megs.
And I mean,
that's good.
You have
You're
no
on the
idea
Comcast.
how many people are on satellite.
I know, and that's awful.
It is so awful.
So there's a lot. You know what's interesting is that they want 100 megabits down, but 50 megabits up. Why does the government say we need so much upstream? I'll tell you why. BitTorrent. It's part of the Obama healthcare plan.
Is it? Is it socializing media?
Socialize media.
That's what it is.
I don't know why. What would your explanation be for why the federal government would say we need 50 megabits up?
That seems pretty huge.
Seems like a lot.
Well, I think here's one of the things you got to think about. One, if you're going to have 100 megabits down and you're going to be exchanging any sort of data, you better have some speed up, or otherwise the 100 megabits is just wasted.
But 100 megabits seems so excessive. I mean, that seems...
I would like it.
Google wants to give you 10 times that, 1,000
I think
megabits.
that the average consumer needs one for the
Well,
money.
you know, that's crazy
all
talk.
right. You're right, though. If you're trying to get universal, one would be sufficient.
Right,
So
and right now you can get one for $20 a month. That seems good enough for the average
they're saying
individual.
just 100 million homes out of the, how many homes? 200 million in the U.S.? Half the homes in the U.S., 300?
Well, not homes, but
homes. So they're saying households. So this is like probably 2/3 of all households.
Yeah, that's big.
Should have affordable access to actual speeds, 100 megabits per second down, upload 50. The U.S. should take the lead in mobile innovation with the fastest and most blah, blah, blah extensive wireless network. Every American should have affordable access to robust broadband
And two
service.
chickens in every pot.
Every community should have affordable access to at least a gigabit broadband service to anchor institutions like schools, hospitals, and government buildings.
Do you notice how we never say digital divide anymore?
Well, that's what this is all about,
Yeah,
though, right?
but nobody ever says that.
Yeah, I have the same reaction when I see this, John, as you do. It's easy to say, okay, now what?
Yeah, talk is cheap. There's one little subtopic I want to bring up because I know somebody mentioned in the chat room is something we should discuss when we're talking about Google.
Yes.
Is the Viacom story.
Oh, this is a good one.
So Viacom is suing Google over YouTube. And in the process of discovery, lots of information comes out.
Yes, we find out something. What is it, Leo?
Well, I'll tell you, John C. Dvorak. First of all, I know something that nobody knows. It didn't even come out in this because we interviewed Chad Hurley on Net at Night, and he told us that when...
Of YouTube.
Of YouTube. He founded YouTube. When Eric Schmidt wanted to buy YouTube, they didn't want anybody to know that Google was shopping YouTube. So Eric said, we're going to meet at the IHOP. So the entire negotiation for YouTube was conducted in an international house of pancakes down the road from Google. No one knows that. I'm the only one in the world who knows that.
And they didn't even go to Hobie's?
They didn't even know. So here's part of the deal is that Eric Schmidt says that YouTube is worth, we say $600 million, but we're going to pay you $1.6 billion because they wanted it fast. That's kind of a shock. During Google's effort to buy YouTube, Viacom says that Ethan Anderson, International Business Product Manager for Google Video, said, I can't believe you're recommending buying YouTube. They're 80% illegal pirated content. Viacom adds Google and YouTube produced almost none of the most damning internal emails and documents. For example, YouTube co-founder Chad Hurley told lawyers that he lost all of his YouTube emails for a key time period in the case.
No, the story I want to get to is the fact that Viacom was uploading stuff.
Right.
They were uploading stuff, even though they were at the same time as they were saying this pirated material.
And
they were doing
the
it.
ones that were pirates. They were sending the stuff. They were going to libraries or using bogus IPs. They were spoofing
FedEx
offices and uploading stuff so they could say, "Look at you guys! You've got all our content on there."
No, I don't think they were doing it as some sort of entrapment. I think they were doing it as a promotional tool.
No, that's a possibility.
For some of their more sort of low rent or viral types of shows.
Now remember, this is Google's assertion about Viacom. There's Viacom's assertions about Google. Google says Viacom, quote, regularly uses so-called stealth marketing to get its content onto YouTube. The goal is to create the appearance of authentic grassroots interest in the content being promoted. And they quote a marketing executive at Paramount, a Viacom company, who says that clips posted to YouTube should, quote, definitely not be associated with the studio, should appear as if a fan created and posted it. But of course everybody would say that, right? That's not a smoking gun, is it?
I don't know. I just found the whole thing abhorrent.
To accomplish that, Google says Viacom employees have made special trips away from the company's premises to places like Kinko's to upload videos to YouTube from computers not traceable to Viacom. Also, they altered videos to make them appear stolen. I think what they do is they put a little cutout of a head in front of it.
No, a little robot and a guy in the middle and another robot.
Yeah. A former president of MTV, not named, testified that Viacom did not take down clips from The Daily Show and The Colbert Report because we were concerned that Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert believed that their presence on YouTube was important. Oh, no, really? Important? Golly!
I think the bottom line is when old media and new media get into one of these squabbles, it's like a pair of bitchy little girls in a slap fight.
Well,
like,
you have a foot in both camps. I mean, you work for ABC. That's old media, right?
Yeah, it's just
do they get it? Do you get the sense that they get what new media is all about?
they're scrambling.
Would they like to buy TWiT?
Definitely. We were talking about
for $1 million.
I would sell it to them for $1 million.
We were talking about what content people would actually pay for.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I know this guy who just takes donations. How about if we, ABC, just take donations?
Oh, that'll work. Brian Williams, would you like to have a PayPal account in which people tip you for the news?
He's NBC. They need your charity. I'm talking about ABC.
ABC. Diane Sawyer.
Diane Sawyer.
How much are you worth today? Anyway.
But I think that there is a concerted effort in the part of old media to...
By the way, somebody in the chat room is saying, Leo, don't sell TWiT. It's worth much more than $1 million.
$1 million.
That's today's chat room.
Molly Wood has a phrase that she calls it the literate.net. Literal.net, where she says people are so literal on the internet that no matter what you say, they go, oh, that's true. That's literally true. At least $10 million. Definitely $10 million.
That's a question. What would you guys pay for on the internet?
Nothing. That's why I am such a big supporter. I tried. Remember, we tried with TWiT to make it a user supported, and that nobody wants to pay for anything. That's why it's ad supported. That's ad supported free broadcasting.
What's
wrong with that?
So how do old media companies evolve without?
Well, they know how to do that. That's what they do.
No, they're working on it. I mean, they're thinking outside the box, and I'm not speaking as an employee of ABC. I'm just speaking as someone who's trying to think about this and.
Of course, you're not speaking, and we would like to say that Becky Worley's opinions are entirely her own and not those of ABC, Disney, or any associated affiliate company.
Thank you, Leo Laporte, Esquire. It is a challenge, and New York Times going paywall. I think they're one of the very few people, one of the very few organizations.
You think they're really going to do that, though? They said they might do that.
You read 30 or more articles a month, and then all of a sudden you go into a pay perspective. That seems fair to me.
Why is it fair? I think it's idiotic, and let me give you the main reason why. You have an article that you're going to have to pay for because you're on number 31, right? Mm-hmm. So you know what the headline is because it's the New York Times headline. You cut and paste the headline, throw it into Google, and you'll find 40 papers around the country that take the New York Times feed, and they'll give it to you for free. So what's the motivation for me to give the New York Times money when the St. Petersburg...
That's the real problem is that the competition, even if it's not New York Times quality material, which it's the same
exact stuff.
But let's say they were able to nip that in the bud.
They can't because they're selling it to these papers.
Well, let's say they did.
It's part of their business.
Because that's why Napster's so successul right now and iTunes is failing miserably.
Free wins, free trumps.
I'm being facetious.
Oh, Napster's gone. But Napster was Napster would have succeeded if it hadn't been legislated out of existence.
Well, yeah, it was. If it saved a step and it cost $2, I'm in.
That's what I'm talking about.
But $300 and something bucks a year, I don't think so.
Well,
it doesn't have to save a step. By the way, you can completely make Napster as easy to use as iTunes.
Fair enough. It was probably a lack of insight as opposed to technology.
But the point is that this New York Times concept is not going to fly.
I don't know.
The Wall Street Journal can do it because the stuff is not syndicated, so it's not all over the net.
Well, it's simple with a journal. You know why?
Yeah, because people think they can make or lose money.
And that's the Bloomberg model,
There's a direct... Yeah, Bloomberg charges a lot of money for its content.
But the New York Times, unfortunately, if they didn't syndicate, they could maybe get away with it, especially with the business section, because they can compete with the New York Times. But it's everywhere. I mean, the Chronicle locally has got all the New York Times stuff in it.
Yeah.
But let's say they were able to get rid of all of that. I think that there's still the free stuff that maybe is not as good, but people will just go for. The point is the internet is an open, free market of information, and if you try to close yourself from it, all you people do is go, okay, fine, I'll go somewhere else.
I'd pay to see Tom Merritt.
Well, you could do that right now. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Merritt.
Oh, no, not without paying.
How much would you pay for this face?
So much. Such a sweet guy.
Tom is...
That's why I do it for free.
We love Tom Merritt. Isn't he the greatest?
Hi, Leo.
Hey, Tom. Hey, we're really happy because you, not only do you do East Meets West, and he's getting set up to do that in about 10 minutes here with Roger Chang.
Busily working on that right now.
But we've got a new show of yours that you're doing with Scott Johnson.
Yeah, we started it off Friday night, episode 1, and let me tell you, it was a blast. Folks in the chat room seemed to dig it.
I loved it. I watched it, and I loved it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I really
Explain the premise to us newbies.
Okay, so here's the deal. It's called Current Geek Weekly. It's actually a spin-off of a show that Scott and I do in daily form, and it's all the geeky stories on the internet that aren't exactly tech, right? TWiT does a great job of covering, as you just have for the past hour and a half, all of the tech stories of the week. But there's other geeky and nerdy stuff out there. So Current Geek Weekly provides
wine.
the safe space for geeks and nerds to nerd out about all the other stuff, things like space, science fiction, just weird and wonderful stuff.
You know, Tom's been kind of promoting this notion that geeks want more than just tech news, but there is a lifestyle. There's a kind of a culture of geeks, and wants to do more of that on the network. And you know, you'll be pleased to hear this, Tom, and maybe you could be part of this. I just talked to Miles O'Brien, who you may remember as CNN. Yeah. He now does a great show called This Week in Space, and we're going to bring that to the TWiT network as well, including live coverage of launches that Miles does. We're going to have our own Walter Cronkite on TWiT.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Isn't that great?
That's great. That's great stuff.
And we're going to do
Miles O'Brien, also the best. He's one of those guys like Bob Price on the Money Watch, because Miles O'Brien is the name of the chief engineer on the Star Trek Next Generation.
I know. Now, I have to ask Miles, how did that happen? But I'm sure there's some story there. But Miles will follow East Meets West starting in a couple of weeks with This Week in Space.
Fine, so you'll have something decent after you get done with East Meets West.
There'll be kind of something in between. You know, you're the jelly in between the peanut butters.
We're the white space. We're the breathing air between the actual content.
No, it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping, Tom, you might stick around, and you and Roger, I know, are space buffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And might be part of that show as well.
I would love to.
Might as well bring up with Roger when he's going to quit Rev 3 and go into the porn business, which we brought up on Cranky Geeks.
Why would he go into the porn business? Is he
money?
Oh.
It's creepy because he's so wholesome seeming.
No. He wouldn't be in the movies.
What's his attribute? Oh, I see.
He's like a
producer.
Producer. Got it.
Yeah.
He does have a house in Fresno, I think. It could be.
You know, many people don't realize this, but more than half of all porn is made in Fresno.
I'm just
I thought it was made in the San Fernando Valley.
That's the other half.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
So this is,
who would go to Fresno?
I don't know. You bring it up as a bogus fact, and it's believable in some odd way.
You got to take the lens cap off, or you're not going to get much of a shot there yet. So, Tom Merritt, great to hear. So, when is the next episode of Current Geek Weekly?
It will be every week on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And Scott and I are busily gathering geeky, nerdy stories right now. If you've got one you want us to talk about, or if you have a geeky story of your own, we want to read people's personal stories as well. Send it to currentgeek@gmail.com.
Currentgeek@gmail.com.
Like real geek, like really geek. What's the geekiest thing you've ever seen?
The geekiest thing I've ever seen?
Yeah, like behavior.
There was this guy, I couldn't believe it. It was at South by Southwest. He had this backpack and this thing with a camera and a light on it, and he was crowd surfing. It was so freaking geeky.
Right, I saw that guy. He came out and put his light down and
I can't imagine somebody
shall
doing
not
that.
Pass.
Yeah. Thou shalt not pass.
I've heard you talking a lot about this crowd surfing, and you're concerned about being groped.
I didn't get groped. I wasn't concerned. I was disappointed.
You mean your backside being groped?
Any part of me.
You
I would
know
have
why
accepted.
You could have reached around and
nothing.
There's no reach around. That's a Texas.
No reach around.
There was no reach around.
There was nothing.
Let me tell you, there was also no
because the camera was on everybody.
Groping.
There wasn't. How did you know?
MPAL. Male pattern ass loss.
Ah, yes.
I think they should have.
Leo has
I think they
no
should have.
ass.
If they had any, they knew what they were doing. They should.
Yep. No, you're leaning forward when
they
you
should have.
stand
They should have
straight
pantsed
up.
you, Leo.
It's concave.
It's not concave.
Your pants would come right off in one tug.
Damn you. Damn you, Worley. Thank you, Tom Merritt. I apologize.
I mean, all the people at South by Southwest, the opportunity was there, and nothing.
You know, it's funny because I have to say, so I'm on the people's stand. My first thought is, where's my wallet? Yeah, I did. I patted my leg.
Yeah,
make sure
right.
my wallet was still there because I didn't know. You know. But they were very kind. They supported me. Tom, you're the greatest. We'll do lots more with you. Tom Merritt is, I think, one of the superstars of the internet, and we're really glad you're part of the TWiT family.
But he's such a jerk.
Yeah, such a he's so mean.
You too.
He's so evil. You know, I should say we all work together at Tech TV, and so, in some ways, this is
that's where I learned about male pattern ass loss.
Yeah, you've aspired to it for years, bud. You're getting there.
You guys.
As the show goes down the toilet.
Oh, it went down a long time ago, John. Thank you, Tom. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Leo.
Tom Merritt, everybody. I'm just going to leave you up, Tom, because, you know, you might as well. I got you on the...
Get Eileen to streak the back.
You know, I saw a picture of me the other day, and I don't, you know, it looks like I have a yarmulke on. Is there like a...
Yeah, a little bit.
See, you have male pattern hair growth. You have...
I've got more hair now.
Your pate is completely covered and fuzzier. That is weird. What are you on? You know the #1 selling item at Sharper Image is the laser hair growth stimulator?
Oh, I bet
As
that
of
works.
last year. I don't know what it is.
They're out of business. They're gone.
No, not Sharp Image. Sorry. Sky Mall. Sky Mall.
Sky Mall.
Sky Mall. That was
that's
last
fun.
year.
I was reading
love
the Sky Mall.
Oh, I went to their headquarters. It was amazing.
They have a headquarters?
And they do
I thought it was virtual.
No, it's in Phoenix or someplace in Arizona. I can't remember. But they have a where all their vendors come and show off their new wares.
That would be fun.
So, like, they had the chocolate fondue fountain.
You got the best gig in the world.
Truck antlers. Car antlers.
I need some car. I want some car antlers. You should get out on the Mustang.
Turn your truck into a buck.
Turn your truck into a buck.
That thing was awesome.
Yeah, baby.
I got to talk to Richard, the Sharper Image guy. Richard Solo, dude.
Yeah.
He's a trip.
He's in there. Look, truck antlers. Oh, those are good.
Turn your truck into a buck. That's
Magnified
what I'm saying.
picture. Look at that. See, it's not. I thought maybe to be on the hood, but these are smart.
you
They
could
come out
use
the
those on the
window.
Mustang.
I sure could.
Out the sides. They're awesome. That's classy. That's much classier. That's.
I'm glad they titled this picture "Magnified Picture."
Sure.
In case I was unclear, not life size.
So I think that John C. and I should do This Week in Costco.
I would love that. You could do
Wouldn't
the
that be
wine.
funny?
We could get. There's a lot of Costco information out there.
I know.
All you have to do is visit.
John C. Dvorak is at Channel Dvorak, channeldvorak.com. And how many shows are you doing? Have you counted now? How many
I don't
shows?
do that many shows. I do this show. I do No Agenda.
Tech 5 is daily, though, so that's
Tech
like
5. Yeah, but that's 5 minutes. And then I also do the Horowitz DH Unplugged, and that's it.
That's quite a few.
Well, not by your standards.
No, by my standards, you're a lazy son of a gun.
Yep.
Where's my I have a whole folder of Dvorak stuff.
Yeah, one of these days. Bang Zoom.
Bang Zoom. Where did I put it? I had a whole.
Yeah, it's gone.
The Dvorak soundboard.
It's here somewhere.
The fingers you have used to dial are too fat. To obtain a special dialing wand, please mash the keypad with your palm now.
Becky Worley is at Good Morning America, and the ABC is now reconsidering her contract. But we're so glad you could come and end your career with us. And follow her on Twitter, will you please? At
Worley, Worley.
And forget that B. Warlet person. That's nobody.
That woman.
Nobody you should know about. Nope. Lisa Tickled Pink is still trying desperately to become as big as Lonely Toe. 25,454 followers. If you follow her, you may win an iPad. April 3rd, I will pick at random from her followers and give her an iPad as well. She says, unfortunately, I can't join in the chat on Twitter as the internet connection is too slow at school. Keep me in the loop. She's in the loop.
If the iPad actually ships in time.
You don't think it will? I'm getting it April 3rd. In fact, I'm going to be doing the radio show.
Are you going to stand in line?
No, I'm going to do. I ordered it. They said delivered day and date, and I'm doing the radio show. And I hope the FedEx guy comes in. I can do a live unboxing on the radio show.
April 1st, I'll have it on set.
Ooh,
New York City.
You will have it 3 days earlier.
I'll just be looking at it. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping. Let's just put it.
Did you talk to Apple?
Why do I feel like there's like a cloud of smoke? It's like
Did
the black
Steve
smoke
Jobs
just
say
came
anything?
into the room.
Did Steve say anything about me in the audience?
He did. Because you looked really cute. Real good, Leo.
Real good. Another twit is long ago hit the fan. Doing the twit.